Hey, it's Acoustic Paint. I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm going to be testing out the Speedball Sketching Dip Pen set. So, as you can see, it's open a little bit. Let's get out all these things. We've got the instructions, the nibs, and the two pen holders, I guess is what they're called. Grip the pen between your thumb and forefinger, rest the pen on the side of your middle finger, extend your pinky slightly for extra stability. Wow, this is very thorough. And addressing why the box was already open, the package rather, I tried to use them on a different piece, but I didn't read any instructions. I just kind of stuck a nib in some ink and it turned out horribly. So now that I've read the instructions briefly, I think now is a proper time to actually use them. I'll be using them with my Winsor & Newton India ink. We're going to be using this illustration here. So this isn't technically paper meant for ink, it's just a piece of scrap that I have, but that's gonna have to do for right now. I do have some Bristol board, but I have such few sheets of it that I don't really want. I don't have an inkwell, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to dip straight into the ink itself. All the tutorials I read online said don't dip all the way because you don't want the ink to touch the actual pen holder. Whoa. Okay, so I've never used this particular nib, but look at the line variation you can get. I don't even know which nib this is. All right, now we've got two other nibs to test. They've got numbers. Wow. Look at me being observant. All right, so we're gonna test the 102 first. So this one gives you less line variation. I don't know anything about dip pens, so I don't know if the numbers mean something. I apologize, I don't know what any of this means, but I'm liking all of these so far now that I've kind of figured out how to use them. We're going to use some of the bigger nibs. Let me get another piece of scrap. I lied, turns out we don't have any. We're going to use these bigger ones. I want to save this big fancy one for last because it looks like a calligraphy nib. It probably isn't, but okay, there we go. I dipped it really well this time. Maybe this is a struggle. If I turn it this way, that's fine, but it's just ink on the metal. Oh, there we go. Did I do it? What did I do? There weren't any specific instructions for the drawing nibs, so I don't know. We'll have to experiment with that one more. But yeah, this nib is really, really nice. Like, I'm a complete beginner and I'm getting a lot of nice line variation there. Now we're going to be using this nib. Has this been out of the shot the whole time? I certainly hope not. This one is really nice too, and it's got the most classic look, I should say. So I've wiped off all the nibs. They're nice and clean for the most part. My hands are not, but that's okay. We've tested them all out. My three favorite nibs out of all of these, I think, were this one, which is the extra fine, this one, which is the school nib, and this one, which is the .02. Now we're going to ink my War of the Worlds drawing, and we'll see how this turns out. Hello, it is VoiceOver Elizabeth here. So I'm actually recording this voiceover several weeks after filming the footage you all are seeing now, so I've kind of forgotten almost everything I wanted to say, but as you can see, I'm currently inking the head of the Martian with the extra fine point, and I ended up using that point for the entire piece, mostly because I was too lazy to switch out the nibs, but also it was working really, really well for everything I was trying to do. The line variation was wonderful. The very fine lines that you could get were perfect for the little tentacles that you can see I'm sketching right now. Actually, I'm sketching the leg. But I thought I would discuss a little bit about this piece, and yeah, so let me just talk about that. I actually read H.G. Wells' novel, War of the Worlds, for one of my college classes, and the whole college class was based around that novel. We read a bunch of reviews and commentary and wrote hundreds of words and like 4 or 5 papers based on it. And as unfun as that sounds, I actually had such a good time because I'm a creative writer, and it was fun to kind of break down the story and just see how everything was going. But it's often credited War of the Worlds as being the first science fiction novel, which I think is really, really cool. There were several unauthorized serializations published around the Spanish-American War time. I'm basically just regurgitating everything I've learned in this course. But yeah, it was just really, really interesting. We had to watch the Steven Spielberg War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, which was just okay, but I thought it was really fun. But yeah, the story really spoke to me for some reason, and so I decided to sketch out the Martians as they're described in the novel and also as they're shown in the movie on screen. And the cool thing about the Martians is that it was kind of a Deus Ex Machina effect. I don't really know how to pronounce that term, but the idea where like the story just kind of wraps up at the end. It's like, oh, everything was fine, because I don't know if any of you have read it, and I don't want to spoil it to you, so spoiler alert, the Martians aren't defeated by the people, they're defeated by biological diseases, by the bacteria on Earth that the Martians from Mars were not prepared to handle. And it was just a very interesting commentary on British imperialism and American imperialism. And I don't really want to get into all that, but it's just fun to discuss and share everything that I've learned from reviewing this novel for the better half of a year. And yeah, so I really, really hope you all enjoyed my piece. I had so much fun making it. I had so much fun with this story and this idea of War of the Worlds. If you haven't read it, I totally recommend checking it out. But I think I'm kind of rambling at this point. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, check out my Patreon in the description down below, where you can see behind the scenes videos, sketches, and other fun rewards we've got set up over there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!